Why not consider the muscle moments, the dadbots, and the disabled people? Because I don't want to play as a 200 fucking fat bitch on a wheelchair. Stellar Blade and the male gaze. Attractive to who? Not to us. Because we respect women in here. In this stream, we respect women, right? So, we're taking this article, kind of talking about why Stellar Blade and the sexualization or over sexualization is not good in games, because there should be representation or equal representation for everyone, which I do not agree. I do play the other title by Shift Up, and the only good title, Nikke. And as you can see, we play for a reason, right? Being honest. So let's check this article. I already went through this and highlighted some of the stuff that I do want to talk about, because I don't want to read paragraph by paragraph. I will leave the link in the description. You guys can also say hello to YouTube, right? You guys can also say hello to YouTube. So, if they say, evokes a time they miss when women in games used to be titillating and attractive, she caters to the so-called male gaze. I do miss those times when, my wife would just go to the kitchen and shut the fuck up, make a sandwich, let me play video games while I'm doing man things, right? So, this is where the term was coined. We don't care about this. You can read it. Developer ShiftUp appears to be leaning into the male gaze heavily. On his Twitter account and interviews, it made sure to draw close attention to the fact that Eve's body is taken from scans of a Korean model, which is this girl right here. You can check those. The game director, our Lord and Savior Kim Hoon-tae, right, justified the choice of body modeling by saying, "We wanted to come up with the most attractive looking body for the user." This is where the conversation should end, all right? This is my target audience. I'm making this game for these people. You like it, play. You don't like it, ignore the game. But let's see what's going on, right? Denny, the girl that's complaining about this, points out that this is textbook's male gaze. Attractive to who? To what gender? What sexuality? What nationality? A lot in that choice is assuming a lot of things about who the developers thinks the player is going to be. Yes, that's how you do your market research. You are like, okay, let's go for this target demographic and let's see what they like and let's appeal to the target audience. I don't think it's that hard to understand, even if you don't know nothing about marketing, right? Even though most journalists should know about marketing. They are hand-in-hand careers. But let's ignore modern journalism. While Eve's body was made from a scan of Shin's, the girl, her face was made in-house, and Shin wasn't used for motion capture. This is pretty good though. They didn't choose an athlete or a martial artist or even an actor, said Denny. You don't want the girl as a performer. You just want her from the neck down. It seems to be very much a statement of the parts of this woman that are of value. Yeah, they pick her for her body and then they made the face that's gonna be looking good for the people. That's it, nothing else. What is the fucking problem? You like the game? Play the game. You don't like it? You can ignore it. Games should not be appealing to everybody. If you like a game, you can play. If you don't need to play. That's like saying Bully, the PlayStation 2 game, should appeal to everyone. No, it's just a game to fuck around and have fun. That's like saying that Wolfenstein should not have Nazis even if they are the bad guys. Because, I don't want to be doing that. I don't want to be giving representation to Nazis. No, who gives a fuck? It's funny. Kill the Nazis. In-game. In-game, please, all right? So, the lack of performance attached to Eve's body has already been noted by internet culture, and then they say Eve doesn't seem to have any reaction to her own sexiness. There is no knowing facial expressions, no flipping of her long ponytail. She just stands there. She's sexy but doesn't know it. She's athletic and acrobatic but entirely controllable. If she did know, if she could move for herself, it would shatter the illusion of many of the gamers championing her, because she'd have the agency to be able to reject them rather than simply be controlled by them. What the fuck? It's a game! You're controlling the player, of course you're controlling her. And yes, she looks good. What does this has to do with, I don't know. It feels like modern journalism and in general complaining, no matter what side of the spectrum you are. It's just being as radical as possible just for the sake of getting clicks, of getting attraction, of getting engagement in general. It makes no sense. It's like, who's thinking like this? Who cares? Like, of course you're controlling her. It's a video game. I want to talk about this more in a second, but I want to first go into another quote, right? So, during the cutscenes of the game, the perspective and the gaze changes. There is something there in showing the physical potential of the body type with combat and athleticism, then you notice. It's not just nice to look at. Then you get into the cutscenes, and every single one of those narrative sequences starts with the camera pointed at her boob. That's doing something different. Eve's body is both a site of empowerment and objectification, depending on how we're invited to look at or through it. I'm gonna be honest, right? If you're gonna be playing the Stellar Blade, the main reason is not the combat. The main reason is not the RPG elements or how good or bad it is. It's because you saw Eve and you were like, damn, this reminds me of Bayonetta. She looks good. Let's try the game. And that's why most players want to check the game. Then it might be good as a game or bad. We have to wait. The demo was pretty good, right? But of course you're going at her and saying, sheesh, that's a fucking nice ass. Just like any other games. Is this realist? Fuck no. Does it look good? Yes. God bless Mary. God bless Mary. Right? You could think of Eve as the culmination of a long line of characters constructed by the male gaze, explicitly or not. From Lara Croft to the various concubines, Kratos, Bets in the original God of War trilogy, sex minigames, plenty of women in video games are designed to be ugly. This is especially true in Shift Up's previous game. This is not their previous game, but Destiny Child, which features lots of anime woman players could dress up. Yes, we are checking the other Shift Up game, the previous game, which is Nike, Goddess of Victory, right? And yes, that is the target that they're going for. Once again, this is not, super realistic. It's the target audience is clear. Even if there is woman playing the game, of course there is. But the majority is a male player base, and it's completely fine. Just because you don't enjoy something doesn't mean you should be able to change. Doesn't make it, and even less on a game. Just because you go to a bookstore and you see a book you don't like, you don't fucking send an email to the author and be like, hey, this book should be more inclusive. No, it's a fucking book. Read it. If you enjoy it, nice. If not, shut the fuck up and buy another one, right? Pretty simple stuff. Pretty simple stuff. Now, let's get into the good one. So, the game is going to be voiced in 11 or 20 languages, but the Japanese language, or the dub, it's only available for the Japanese version of the game, right? So many people commented they will be purchasing the Japanese version just to secure access to the region-exclusive Japanese dub, all right? Despite it being a Korean game with a Korean dub. Whatever, buy whatever version you like. It is because that's difficult to get a hold of, so you're a bigger gamer or fan if you can demonstrate that you've gone the extra length to get that version. Is it because there is a particular respect for the Japanese voice cast that might be part of these generous readings? Or is it because actually Korean femininity doesn't have the connotations for a Western colonial imagination that Japanese femininity does? It's almost like in order to fulfill the fantasy of puppeteering this attractive woman and putting her in certain outfits and placing the camera just right, she needs to be Japanese. Look at the fucking gymnastics. It's a game. Who cares? The gymnastics to see like, oh, you just want to puppeteer this woman and you are buying the Japanese version just because that's your deepest desire, your deepest desire. You need to control them. It's like, bro, shut the fuck up. Let's keep going, right? Statistics, let's talk about this. Because as of 2023, around 50% of people who play games are women. And this might be true. This might be pretty skewed because these analytics or these studies most of the time also include people that just play on their phones a little bit while they're waiting for the boost, or maybe a day a week or things like that, which is completely fine. But that includes your grandma playing Candy Crush. So a lot of these statistics are like a little bit weird to look at. Again, this has nothing to do with this Stellar Blade. Just because 50% of the people playing games are women doesn't mean anything. This does not mean you have to make a game for everyone. It's for a specific target audience, nothing else. If we talk about gacha games, if we talk about MMOs, if we talk about FPS, male and female audience are always different depending on the genre of the game itself. So this makes no sense, but they use this because if producers want to create video games that are only intended for male audiences, it's really unwise because they are alienating a huge demographic. This is not alienating. Games are not made for everyone. It's pretty simple. You make a game, it has a target audience, they like it, maybe they don't. That's it. There's nothing else. That should be where the conversation ends. But they want to go do 30 fucking flips, some gymnastics, yap for 30 minutes, which is what we're doing to profit from this video. Subscribe, leave a like, right? And then do this article. And it's like, bro, what the fuck? The truth is, a lot of people, men, women, non-binary, straight, queer, whatever you are, find Eve attractive. Nice. Right? At the end of the day, we can't know for sure if Eve will walk the line of male fantasy and women's empowerment or step over it until the game is out. This is interesting because you say this, but then we go up and you are saying that people are buying the Japanese version only because they have a fantasy of puppeteering this attractive woman and putting her in certain outfits. So, get your shit together. Either you are like, we don't know, or you want to have an opinion. If you have an opinion, don't be a pussy. If you have an opinion, at least stand by it. Don't be like, oh, we have to wait until it's out. No. It's like the treasure system in Nikkei. It fucking sucks. Just saying, right? It sucks. So let's keep on. Characters like Lara Croft, Bayonetta, 2B, and Tifa have all faced criticism due to their appearance, but combine them with all the well-written personality and story, exciting gameplay, and interesting side characters or villains, and they become more than the sum of their parts. Yeah, I'm pretty sure everyone remembers 2B because of their story in here. This is why Will reserves judgment. She wants to see how Stellar Blades formulates a relationship with NPCs in the game and thinks. It's not only about whether your protagonist is beautiful, able-bodied, etc. It's also, is your villain scared, disabled, overweight? Where are you looking for the other areas to avoid those stereotypes and look for other elements of inclusive play and representation? Rather than just catering to the male gaze and creating hourglass figures and jiggly bits, why not consider the muscle moments, the dadbots, and the disabled people? Because I don't want to play as a 200 fucking fat bitch on a wheelchair. Who the fuck wants that? Absolutely nobody. I want to play as Eve, a hot chick, right? So I can look at her butt, nothing else. It's pretty simple. Who gets home after 8 hours of working and it's like, bro, let's play fucking Wheelchair Simulator? Nobody. We should make that game. We should make a game called Wheelchair Simulator. And when people ask why, it's just for inclusiveness. We should actually make that game. It's not about making games like sexy. He says it's about making games more sexy for more people. No, it's not. It's about pushing your fucking agenda. Which is stupid. If you like a game, play it. If you don't like the game, do not play. Nothing else. Like, it's literally that simple. And that's the article, which is a whole bunch of yapping about the male fantasy and how we want, how do we want to puppeteer these beautiful girls into specific outfits to position the camera so it looks good. And suffer all fucking reading. But yes, in verse, an amazing source for news, as you guys can see. This article should have finished here. Attractive to who? Exactly, who the people to find it attractive. If you don't find it attractive, you don't have to play the game. You can go and buy another game. There is plenty of action RPGs who do not sexualize or over-sexualize their characters. Plenty of good ones, right? Go play those. You like the ones that actually also sexualize the characters, aka Bayonetta, aka Nier. Now when Stellar Blades, you can play them. Games should not be made for everyone or should please to absolutely every type of player, right? They're made for specific people. You like them, play them. Don't fuck off. That's it. Thank you for watching this video. Bossos, see you in the next one, right?
役立たずは楽園から追放するのみ。ブランとノワールのショータイムです。天地万物を切るとはこういうことだ。